Give me 1 more minute to clear this thing up.
Chirish Patrawala, New Jersey.
Hi, Jaitendra.
Jai Jinendra, everybody. So let's get started. I would request everybody to please put your mic on mute. And for today's session of JAINA, Federation of Jain Association in North America, I like to welcome you all on our event, Know Your JAINA event meeting. Today is Saturday, April 17, 2021, and we'll be reviewing the JAINA Jivdaya committee meeting. So before we get started, I would like to invite Srimati Geetaben Khona to take an honor for us to recite the Namaskar Mahamantra. And I would request everybody to please fold your hand and fold your eyes and listen it calmly. Thank you. Geetaben, you can please go ahead.
Jai Jinendra. Namo Arihantanam, Namo Namo, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Namo, Namo Ayaryanam, Namo Namo, Namo Vajjayanam, Namo Namo. Namo loe savasahunam, Namo loe savasahunam, Eso panchanamo karo, Savapava panasano, Mangalanancha Savesim Padamam Havai Mangalam Padamam Havai Mangalam. Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra. Thank you, Geetaben. So let's get started. And Jai Jinendra, it is my privilege to welcome respected JAINA President Mahesh Bhai, invited members of JAINA Jivdaya Committee, Jain Center members, and also Jains joining not only from North America, but also various parts of the world. Pranam. Your presence in JAINA events always inspire us to keep raising the bar for JAINA services. On behalf of JAINA Executive Committee, I, Hemant Shah, your JAINA Secretary, would like to take this opportunity to warmly welcome you all on this third town hall meeting under JAINA's new initiative, Know Your JAINA. As many of you know, JAINA's committees are one of the pillars of JAINA. JAINA committees are formatted as standing committee, operational committee, and also ad hoc committees as needed. And there are 36 plus committees, keeps JAINA very vibrant and active. Under Know Your JAINA program, we facilitate town hall meeting and introducing one committee each time that work tirelessly to take JAINA to its new heights. Last 2 months, we learned about JAINA Vayavach Committee and also JAINA Academic Liaison Committee. Today, we have invited the members of Jivdaya Committee. We are going to learn about how this committee function, what are their accomplishments, how this committee is impacting Jain's life around the globe, and lastly, but very important, that how we can help achieving JAINA's mission to this committee. Once again, I appreciate you all and thank you for joining. And without further ado, I would like to invite our president, Sri Mahesh Bhai of Los Angeles, California, to introduce our today's speakers of Jivdaya Committee. So please join me in welcoming Mahesh Bhai Wader.
Thank you, Hemant Bhai. Thank you. Pranam and Jai Jinendra to all. And thank you for taking time off on Saturday to attend this meeting. I hope you are all in Sukshata and are all in good health. JAINA has 36 committees, as Hemant Bhai mentioned, and they are ready to take JAINA to a new height. JAINA introduced this new initiative under the title, which is Know Your JAINA. This will make the community aware of the people behind each committee, their mission, current activities, finances, and future plans. Every month, we will have one or two committees giving their updates. This will help raise the enthusiasm among the JAINA community members to think of participating and supporting the activities. Next month, we will have JAINA Diaspora Committee led by Dr. Manish Mehta, and we will also have the Overseas Relations Committee led by Dilip Bhai Shah to give their updates. Whenever you hear about the activities being carried out by all these committees, you will be astonished to see the dedication and the hard work involved, and this is all selfless services. Today we have the Jivdaya committee giving their updates. So let me now introduce the Jivdaya committee speakers today. We have Dilip Bhai Shah from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He has done MS in Civil Engineering and Environment Science. He is recipient of JAINA Ratna Award. He is the past president of JAINA. He is the author of the book Chitrabhanu, Man of the Millennium. He is a governing council at the International School of Jain Studies. He was the convener of the JAINA Convention 2009 that took place in Los Angeles. He is a chairperson of the JAINA Constitution Committee. He is also a chairperson of the JAINA Overseas Relations Committee. We have the second speaker, Pramoda Ben Chitrabhanuji, New York. She is honorary co-chair of JAINA Jivdaya Committee. She has done BA in psychology. She is a director of Jain Meditation International Center in New York. She is president of the Vegetarian Society, Mumbai, India. She is also a board of director for PETA India. She is author of several books, and I will just name a few. Food of Earth, Taste of Heaven, Jain Symbols and Practices, Dark Truth Behind the Milk Myth, and so on. She is a promoter of vegetarianism and veganism. We have Ketan Sheth from Tulsa, Oklahoma. He is a professional engineer and MBA. He has done masters in mechanical engineering and oil engineering. He's holding 31 patents and published 24 research papers. He's a regional vice president of JAINA's Southwest region from 2019 to 2021. He's a founding member of Tulsa Jain Sangh. He was inspired by Pujya Gurudev, Chitrabhanuji, and Pramoda Ben, and since then he has been supporting and working for the Jivdaya projects. With that, I would like to invite Ketan Bhai to take over the floor. And thank you all, and hope you enjoy today's meeting. Jai Jinendra.
Ketan Bhai.
Jai Jinendra. Thank you for attending, and also thank you very much for giving us an opportunity to practice ahimsa and implement some of the work. So we really appreciate your work and your donations, and that gives us the opportunity to practice Jaina Jivdaya. Jivdaya committee charter is simple: to follow and practice ahimsa in life and give opportunity to all for practicing in various ways, and thus setting an example for future generations to follow. In short, to prevent cruelty and help all voiceless animals from suffering, and providing means for better life to them by providing shelter, food, medicine, etc. How can we practice and promote Jivdaya? It's simple. We don't need to teach everybody. It's by helping building sheds, providing nutritious food and medicine to Panjapur in India, by adopting and living eco-friendly, vegan and vegetarian life, providing alternatives to the animal product for use in our life. And this is very simple way. Generally, we all are inclined to do this in India, but it's all equally needed in US as well. And one thing I wanted to make emphasis on it, that 100% of Jivdaya donation is used for Jivdaya, not a single penny used for anywhere else. And JAINA Executive Committee provides the support from their General Administration Fund. So 100% of the Jivdaya fund is used for Jivdaya. In India, we do this by providing grass to the various Panjapurs. We do not give money because there are chances that money can be mishandled. In Gujarati, paisa khawa sela che, ghas khawu agru che. In other means that it's difficult to chew grass, but it's easy to mishandle money. In JAINA Jivdaya Committee, we follow very strict guidelines for sending money to them. And we only send it to 2 or 3 major Panjapurs in India, and they distribute grass to about 40 plus Panjapurs in India. And we also support 4 other states: Gujarat, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, and Rajasthan. Now let me introduce my JAINA committee.
This is what's going to happen.
May I request rest of the people to please go on mute?
Please, rest of the people mute, please. There's still somebody's going on anyway. Anyway, Jivdaya committee was initially started by Pramodaben and Chitrabanuji in early 80s. And it is one of the first, one of the few committees that was organized by JAINA. At present, I am a chair since 2019, and my work is supported by Dilip Bhai Shah, who is also a founding member of the Jivdaya committee, or since inception. And we have already seen the Dilip Bhai's introduction, and his work speaks for himself, so we don't need to say much. And he covers all the Northeast area. Praveen Bhai Shah from JAINA Education Committee is also another founding member who is still supporting work and also covering the Southeast region. Hemant Bhai Shah from Detroit covers Midwest region, and Gitaben Khona from Los Angeles area covers the Southern California, and they joined the Jivdaya committee in 2013. Sobhaben Vora joined Jivdaya committee in 2015, covering Northern California. Dilip Bhai Shah, JAINA secretary, just joined recently this year. I am the chair since 2019, and you contact any one of us, and our contact information is available on jaina.org under Jivdaya committee. We, Rita, my wife and I, Rita used to work for JAINA Treasurer, We started working for Jivdaya committee in 2003. When Gurudev Chitrabhanu and Pramodaben visited Talsa and saw our work from Talsa Jain Sangh of Jivdaya and asked to join with them. Okay, and now let me go and play Pramodaben's message to all of us. Hemant Bhai, Pramodaben, would you play Pramodaben message, please?
Can you hear?
Jai Jinendra. In today's time of increased global warming and
Can someone confirm you hear
Yes.
Pramodaben's voice? Okay, thank you. I'll restart it.
Jai Jinendra. In today's time of increased global warming and hostility, the people all over the world are feeling more and more insecure, threatened, and unsafe to live in a world plagued with the epidemic of power and position, violence and hate. The antidote for this is reverence for life and ahimsa. As Bhagwan Mahavir rightly said, knowing that all the evils and sorrows arise from injury to living beings, and that it leads to unending enmity and hatred, which is the cause for great fear. A wise man who has become awakened should refrain from all sinful and harmful activities. In the olden days, the idea of Jivdaya was limited to animal shelters. It inspired people to spend their resources for animal sanctuaries, panjrapurs, where animals are protected and taken care for till they die. But today, the story is different. Violence on dumb and mute animals have increased to such a great height that it has caused moral and mental degradation to humankind. It is because of this that the idea of Jivdaya has acquired a broader meaning of bringing awareness and spreading the message of compassion and non-violence in the fields of clothing, food, cosmetics, entertainment, experiments, medicine, etc. It is because of this that people have chosen a vegan lifestyle where minimum of violence is involved and innocent animals are spared from the brutality of mankind.
Okay.
Okay, we can go back to our slide.
Okay.
Next slide. I'm going to go over some of the JAINA's major accomplishment. And the first one was in Vadodara, Panjrapur in 2008, with JAINA, with support of donors, built 3 sheds in Vadodara, Panjrapur in Gujarat, and provided shelters to about 225 animals. You can see in the pictures how the animals are being there and how they are being taken care. It's full-fledged shed and still JAINA's name is still there. The next slide. Next slide. The next came in 2014, where there was a drought in Maharashtra, and 2013. And with help of Bharatiya Jain Sanghratna in Pune, we were able to install a temporary stall where more than 2,000 animals came and supported for a couple of months. And JAINA spent all 5 lakhs rupees to do this. The next slide, please. In 2014, there was shed built in Mandal, Panjapur, near Ahmedabad. Okay, and it was a 90 feet by 30 feet shed, and it trying to do that. And then second, a grass farm and water storage facility was built in Wakaner in Saurashtra. And the purpose was that this way the Panjapur becomes self-sufficient itself to grow their own grass during different seasons and can help perpetually. Next slide. In 2017, in northern Gujarat, there was a flood and there was a huge calamity. JAINA quickly collected almost $23,000 and sent it there. And we built 2 sheds in Than and Urad, and then also supported by providing fodder to the other Panjaports in regions. Next slide. There are others, again, things, other major projects are, we built a similar shed in Radhanpur, Panjapur in 2015. We donated animal hospital for helping the disabled bird during the Kais festival of Makar Sankranti in January in Ahmedabad in 2016. We also built another animal shed in Sangli, Maharashtra, with the help of Animal Rahat, who is a part of PETA in India. In 2017, we donated an ambulance, animal ambulance in Bhavnagar, and it was inspired suggestion by Maharaj Sahib Sri Rajyasuri Sawarji. In 2018 and 19, we donated $130,000, single most major donation for Jivdaya in the 30 years history, all rupees 90 lakh in India for complete renovation of Chapadyari, Panjapur renovation. That is between Bhavnagar and Palitana, going to Palitana on main highway. And they have more than 3,000 animals. And only one donor, Atulbhai Shah and Arthiben Shah from Maryland, donated all of that. They went over there, they saw, they got touched by it, and they wanted to just do it single-handedly. Next slide. And another big project was taken over in 2016 by Pramodaben. She wanted to provide the alternate means of living the vegetarian life. So she collected recipes and published in a book called Rainbow Food for Vegan Palate. She printed 1,400 books and gave it to JAINA. And JAINA is selling these books for $10. You can order through Amazon or you can directly contact us and we will send it. And out of 1,400, we were able to sell thousands. And right now we still have 400 more books. All the proceeds of these books goes to the JAINA Jivdaya. Next slide. Let me give you some update on financials. As you can see, Jivdaya committee is supporting on average about $35,000 to $40,000 annually. Out of that, approximately 85% fund is sent to India and 50% funds are used in USA. So far, Jivdaya committee has spent $750,000 over 30 years. Major centers like Los Angeles, San Francisco, Milpitas, Chicago, New York, they are sending $100,000 plus on their own each year in addition to JAINA. Overall, Jains from India are sending $500,000 for Jivdaya per year to India. Next slide. JAINA, some of the major donations come from to JAINA Jivdaya is from Jain centers. There is about 16 Jain centers who supports average from $3,000 to $10,000 over 8 years. And that includes from all the way Buffalo, South Florida, Minnesota, Kansas City, St. Louis, Jain Center of South Florida, Charlotte, Houston, Los Angeles, Tennessee, Middle Tennessee, Louisiana, Carolina, Northwest Louisiana, Cleveland, Ohio, and Tulsa. So these Jain centers, when collect money, they send up to from $3,000 to $10,000, and then send it sometime once, sometime every other year, so way like that. But these are Jain centers, small Jain centers are biggest support of JAINA Jivdaya. Next slide, please. If I trying to break down the things, major donation, as I mentioned, was a Tulpaina Runamensa for renovation of Sapariari, Panjapur, near Palitana in Gujarat. Another major donation was issued by Ajit Baisa from New Jersey, and there is another donation from Kanti and Nilam Desai from Dallas, Texas. On statistically speaking, out of 232 donators, 207 donations, or almost 90% of the donations came under $300. So people are sending, from $21 to $250, $300, but they are the majority of the donors who support the JAINA Jivdaya. Next slide, please. JAINA is supporting 7 major US animal sanctuaries in US. They are Mercy for Animals in Los Angeles, and Los Angeles Centers also supports them. Sasha Farm in Michigan, Sasha Farm and Lighthouse in Michigan, Farm Sanctuary in New York, Pritirang Animal Sanctuary in California, Animal Place in Northern California, and Unnati Compassion in Arizona. That is the very small Panja Animal Sanctuary. And I forgot about Loving Arms in Colorado. Actually, we have Salin Bhai here from Loving Arms to give an update. Salin Bhai, can you please share your screen and give us a quick update?
Yes, Janendra. Let me see. I will need someone to allow me to share.
You can try and see if you can share it, Shalin Bhai. If
Okay.
not, I will
Now
try.
I can. Now I can. Okay.
Yes, we can see it.
Wonderful. Jai Janendra, everyone. And thank you so much for having me here today. And I also want to thank our wonderful community for all of the support that you have given in the years that we have been doing this work. So I want to start by saying that Jivdaya, of all the values in our Jain way of life, Jivdaya is one of the most inspiring. It meets the material existence of samsara with all of our core values, and it creates good in the world. It brings together ahimsa and karuna and puts them into action. For those who witness it in the world, it sows the seeds of compassion and inspires kindness and selflessness. Jivdaya is a mission. It is a way of life. Today, in a world full of challenges, such as what we heard from Pramodaji just a few minutes ago, we need Jivdaya more than ever. More than 10 billion land are killed each year in the US alone to produce meat, dairy, and eggs. A number is so large that it is hard to understand. It is more than 1 million every single hour. Globally, that death toll exceeds 80 billion. And that doesn't even include the number from the aquatic animals like fish, which are killed for food in the trillions. The scale of the suffering, torture, and inhumanity is staggering. Jivdaya is the perfect action against this most destructive force on the earth. Many of the challenges we face today as a planet, as humans, are all rooted in the same place: animal agriculture, the raising of animals for food. The industrial-sized factory farms of today are outsized in every way imaginable. They consume more resources than is sustainable and result in destruction of not just the innocent lives within their walls, but for the whole planet, for our way of life, and for our health. Animal agriculture, the raising of animals for food, is the most destructive practice on the planet today. It is a leading cause of the climate crisis because animal agriculture is responsible for 51% of the greenhouse gas emissions. Our media doesn't talk about it, but all modes of transportation, where everyone is focused, accounts for only 13%. Land overuse, 45% of land in the world is used to raise or feed animals for food. This takes away land from the wild, pushing wildlife to the brink of extinction, causing huge losses to biodiversity. In deforestation, an unbelievable 15,000 acres of rainforest are cut down each day to make room for cattle farming. And the water scarcity that we are all starting to see around the world, it's because just one hamburger takes 660 gallons of water to make. And that is the water that goes into for the animal to drink, but also for the crops raised to feed to the animals. The meat and dairy industry alone uses 1/3 of Earth's fresh water. And many preventable human health conditions, because animal products have been scientifically linked to conditions such as diabetes, heart disease, stroke, and many cancers. Even the World Health Organization labeled processed meat as a carcinogenic item. In the pandemics, like the one we're in today, new viruses like COVID-19 come from our grossly negative relationship with animals, whether from wild animal sources or domestic. Our imbalanced relationship with animals is the root cause of pandemics. Jivdaya is the one key value that can help to solve so many wrongs in our world today. But how do we apply this value to create a solution to this massive problem we face today? We may not be able to rescue each innocent being that is being raised in the factory farms just this year alone. Those numbers are in the billions. We can, however, change the economics of the industry. Inspiring just one person to leave animal products and adopt a fully plant-based vegan lifestyle can spare over 300 lives each year. So at Love and Arms, we work to apply Jivdaya in a solutionary way. We do rescue lives from farms, and then we get to know them, we give them love and heal them. Each one of them has a name, and each one has a story. And that individual story helps to connect people with them. And through them, they get inspired to consider the animals as part of their circle of compassion. Through that connection, they leave animal products behind. We also provide a lot of support in the process. We host cooking demos, nutrition talks, and even provide a meal planning software that helps people transition away from animal products. And it is working. Just in the last year alone, we have connected with over 25,000 people in over 28 countries through our programs. Jains have been practicing Jivdaya for thousands of years, and our practice of nonviolence and karuna put into action of Jivdaya has inspired many. The time for us to do more for the animals, for the planet, is now. The tide is turning. We're living in a time with greater awakened consciousness. More and more people each day are turning away from animal products and becoming vegan. There are now more than 10 million vegans in the United States alone. More and more plant-based alternative products are coming to the market, making it easier and easier to leave animal-based products. The animal agriculture industry is a highly leveraged industry operating on thin margins and diminishing resources. It is under pressure on many fronts. It is teetering. A small percentage of people leaving animal products can make a big effect. So we must do all that we can to spare the lives of billions of innocent beings, the life of our planet, and the health of our communities. Jivdaya, applied in a solutionary way, is the core value to this solution. So let us come together and work to create a more kind and compassionate world for all beings. Thank you very much. And Jai Jinendra.
Thank you, Salin Bhai.
Let me give Dilip Bhai a chance to speak in continuation, Dilip Bhai Shah, on continuation of how we are trying to help and prevent the animal slaughters in USA. Dilip Bhai, would you please?
Okay. Jai Jinendra, everyone. People often ask as to what Jivdaya committee is doing in America. Ketan Bhai's chart that he presented showed that about 15% of the funds we raised are spent in USA. But this year we have a unique project that we need to pay attention to, that is for America. In Wisconsin, Franklin, Wisconsin, there is a slaughterhouse that slaughters 300 animals a day. A company, a hedge fund has bought that and is going to expand it from 300 to 2,000 animals per day. Local groups in Wisconsin, Americans mostly, joined by some Jains in Wisconsin, are challenging the expansion through the courts. We in JAINA, the Jivdaya committee, is supporting the efforts of the locals to financially so that they can stop, delay, or modify their plans. It's a big ask, but there is some good news here. Initially, their permit for expansion was to start January 1 of this year. But because of the lawsuit, it has been delayed to August of It means that the court action has resulted in 8 months of delay. Think about it. 2,000 animals a day will be saved by 8 months. So the legal avenues that they have are not exhausted. There are more actions that they are keeping it in reserve to keep delaying it. Hopefully, the hedge fund will walk away from the plan to expand. What we need to do in JAINA is to support them. We are not a party to the lawsuit. Actually, it's an arm's distance between them and us. But we are glad to see them doing some to help animals, which is at core of our heart. We are projecting to raise $25,000 for this lawsuit. Our support of by $25,000. I would like members of this committee, if everyone accepts the responsibility to raise $500 each, just $500, we can raise $25,000. Believe me, JAINA funds have never been used more concretely than this one project is targeting. We want to delay as much as possible or cancel the expansion plans. And we are going through the courts. At some point, the JAINA EC may decide to join the lawsuit. We are not there right now. Right now, just the JAINA committee is supporting this drive. Anyone who has any good ideas, want to contribute, can send the money directly to JAINA, talk with Ketan Bhai, talk to me if you have any questions. Internet is full of news about the Franklin, Wisconsin slaughterhouse. But we are dealing against a giant, the hedge fund. And they have their political connections. All we have is our petition to stop it. So I'm hoping everyone will consider supporting this drive. Thank you, Ketan Bhai.
Thank you, Mahesh Bhai, and thank you, Salin Bhai. And let's go back to last leg of our presentation, and we'll move quickly as time is running out. So I just wanted to give you a quick update. Next slide, please, that how we can do, as Dilip Bhai has said, how we can do it here in the United States. But let me emphasize a little more in India too. Next. Right now in current state of COVID-19, government subsidies there in various states, but still it's almost $1 or $2 per day to support an animal in India. There are various ways we can achieve this goal, by providing a truckload of support, $400 for 400 animals a day, or we can take a daily expense of a small or big panjapot for a day for our birthdays or our anniversaries, or we can save an animal from going to the slaughterhouse or building a shed for about $10,000, and that would be forever long time. And also by sharing donation between the Jain centers, because that way we can avoid or stop duplicating efforts and expand our efforts to other panjapots. Right now, Next slide, please. JAINA is supporting in 4 major states, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, and Rajasthan, and mainly in Gujarat, about 40 plus Panjra ports from the $40,000 we sent roughly. But we are trying to expand our efforts to the other states. We have already started in Assam and West Bengal with the help of Dhyan Foundation. And we would like to send to other states with the help of Girish Paisa, who is a member of Animal Welfare Board in central government in India in Delhi. And he's also the chair of Samast Samaj in Ahmedabad. And he has an excellent track record of going out, helping, and he personally goes himself. So we would like to expand to other states as possible. As you can see, there's a huge amount of Panjra ports in India and number of animals there. They are being supported. You know, I only have the 3 states, but if you look at those three states, it's almost 750,000 plus animals. And these are all the ones who are chartered or registered with the government. There are also additionally non-registered small Panjra ports in each and every town that we can help. So what I would suggest that please Jain Center's presidents and Jivdaya leaders to share the information so we can stop duplicating our efforts and then use that extra resource to help other Panjra ports. And next slide. While in the USA, taking care of the animals is $5 to $20 per day is equally required, as you have seen from Salim Bhai's presentation, that there's almost 1 billion small or large animals are being slaughtered every day. Our policy in US is to support the Jain animal sanctuaries who have policy to not to put animal to the sleep. There are lots of local animal shelters who put animals to the sleep, and we do not support them. The another way is by promoting the increasing awareness of Jain vegan lifestyle, providing alternate to the animal products for leather and milk, all kind of things that we can stop consumption and save the lives. And like Dilip Bhai said, stop the expansion of slaughterhouses. And we can move forward with a green economy, effect on environmental and social and natural resources. So in short, I would say that support with your heart and with your 2 hands, and God will give you, reward you with 1,000 hands. Gujarati માં કહેવત છે, તમે 2 હાથે દિલથી આપો, 1000 હાથવાળો ઉપરથી તમને આપશે. Anyway, and that's the end of my presentation. We are counting on your supports. Anyway, if you have any questions, any suggestions, let any of our committee members know, and don't hesitate to call anytime. So now let's open the floor for question and answer. Sulekh ji, go ahead, please.
First of all, Jai Jinendra, Namaskar to everyone. And I'm especially grateful to the JAINA committee, Mahesh Bhai, everybody, Hemant Bhai, bringing the total awareness about JAINA and sharing so many activities. So I want to thank you. This is a new initiative, and I think it's very, very helpful. So again, let me make few comments for a minute or two, that this work, JAINA Jivdaya committee, is the heart and soul of Jains. This is ahimsa in action. We say ahimsa paramo dharma. This is application. This is not just live and let's live, but live and help others to live. Okay, so that's what you are doing, Ketan Bhai and your committee. So my hats off to you. With that, I want to make few comments. I have been to Shaleen Shah made a very good presentation, and some of us have been there. I have been there. And my suggestion is when you go there, it's a Tirthan. There are many, many different definitions of Tirthan, but I call it a Tirthan. So I think it will be helpful, Ketan Bhai, for us, for Jains, to organize some yatra to the Tirthan, where Jainism is in action. So if possible, we should go there, as many as people, because nothing like seeing, okay? So if that is number one. Number two, in your last slide, you mentioned about that animal products, use of animal products. I know we talk about veganism and many things, and that sometimes slowly is creeping in. But my request is that the Daya committee, if they can make an appeal to all the Jains in this country, that when they buy a new car, okay, in each car, if the seats are leather seats, it takes 3 animals to be killed, to be raised and killed just for provide the leather seats. We can avoid that. I'm not talking about food. I'm talking about something we can, okay? If the committee just promotes, do not buy leather seat cars, and you will believe me that there are many, many even expensive cars. They will provide you without leather seats, okay? I know many, many Jains in my family, but there are hundreds of Jain families do that. So that's a one simple step we can take. So this is my humble request. Quickly, I don't want to take all this time. I know there are so many other people who want to say, but Panjara pole, I don't know if Panjara pole, I come from Haryana, by the way, and you showed Haryana to 277 Panjara pole there. I do not know, we call them Goshala. Okay, I don't know if there's the same definition. Panjara pole, very much common in South and Gujarat. So if that is the same, so probably those Gaushala, it probably also called in Gujarat, I forgot the name. So, okay, there are, okay, name escaped me. So in Gaushala, when we have these animals, there's no veterinarian, there's no medicine. Those animals were not taken. I have been to quite a few, by the way. Or by the way, in Ahmedabad, they call tabelas. If that is the same thing, I don't know. Okay, so there is so much we can do, Jeff, there, that if we can provide medical help, a veterinarian is very important, if possible, so that we can make sure that those people, those animals do not, in our boundary, do not suffer.
Yes.
Okay, so if we can provide the medicine, and also those people who take care of them, they do not do the cheating, because we don't give them enough salary, enough compensation. So they take away the money which was supposed for animals. This, by the way, is not Upadesh. This is not my lecture. This is something I've seen, that they steal money which was meant for animals because we don't pay them enough. Okay, so these were my humble requests. So Tirth Yatra here, and we make sure that the money where we send, that we provide the animal care, which is water, food, shelter, and also veterinarian. So with that, again, my namaskar to all of you. And I bow my head to everyone who is doing this great work. Jai Jain.
Thank you, Sulekji. We are aware of it. We totally agree with you. And we will promote most of your ideas, or even more than that, because I have received some other few suggestions, and these are a great way to help, promote ahimsa.
Thank you.
And in India, particularly, we are very careful about it, because that's the reason what I said is that it's easy to mishandle money, but it's little difficult to handle grass. So that's the reason we provide fodder and veterinarian work.
Thank you, Ketan Bhai.
Next, any other questions?
So this is Kiran Sangoy, Jai Jinendra Pranam. I have some simple solution like bird feeder. If anybody can use, Walmart will sell like $15, $17, some very good bird feeder. and you can put it outside near, hang it on a tree or something. And every morning before you eat, if you feed someone and eat, that is an excellent thing to do, I believe. And I'll post a link to Jaina Pothi, like written by one of our great Acharya. So when you have ants or some other insects in your house, instead of treatment like what do you call the treatment you do, you can follow this Jaina Pothi. It is in Gujarati and Hindi, but instead of, like, I mean, basically wheat flour mixed with castor oil or something, if you put, or camphor, like kapoor, what we call. So those simple treatment like that is available in that Jaina Pothi. So I will post a link here in the chat. Anybody interested can take a look at this Jaina Pothi. Very, very effective. Like tea, once you make the tea, and that whatever the remains of the if you basically put, I mean, burn it, and whatever the fumes come out of it, that will help you get rid of some of the mosquitoes or things like that, or the orange peels or something like. So Jain way of getting rid of all the insects or something. So thank you. Jaina is doing great things, and we are very happy, proud of you.
Thank you. Great ideas, and we will make sure we'll take the Pothi and then try to spread the word around. And we have also done a similar project in our Jain school, that we give each Jain school kids the bird feeder, and then ask parents to take responsibility for providing food, and that way it helps a lot here.
Open by Mehta has raised the hand.
Yes. Hello, Ketan Bhai and all the Jain Sangh members. I knew Ketan Bhai from my short stay in Tulsa, long time ago. And excellent work. I have a couple of interesting suggestions. You know, you have used the word animal in your presentation. I would change to cows. I mean, Gaumata is, you know, in India, considered a very pious animal. We pray, and you know, rather than calling that animal, I would call Gaushala or Gaumata. I think that will change the mental attitude of people towards saving them. I had discussed with Ketan Bhai just yesterday. There is a proposal from India to do the same thing for dogs in India. There is somebody who's running this kind of a shelter for dogs, and they were asking for some help. So I'll share that information with Ketan Bhai. The third suggestion I have is, I have been working with a gentleman in Bay Area who has perfected a plant-based nutrition program, which is mostly based on Jain principles, but he doesn't call it Jain principles. And it's a way to change your health problems. If you have chronic health problems, this gentleman over last 10 years has helped so many people to reverse your health problems to the extent that you stop taking those medicines for diabetes, blood pressure, etc. So he just created a WhatsApp group for Jains, and you can join that group, which starts on May 1st. And it is a free program. It offers the instructions and knowledge that his name is Lalit Kapoor. Lalit has gathered over the last 10 years and shares all his insights, and then you follow it the way you want to follow it, and then get the benefit that program will offer. And if you need more help, I have left my email address on this chat, so you can contact me. Thank you, Ketan Bhai.
Thank you, Bhupen Bhai. We will definitely consider your suggestions.
All right, we have gone over 1 hour and about couple. We will take few more questions if you have, and then our president Mahesh Bhai wanted to say something on the other program, Thanksgiving program.
Can I say something, Hemant Bhai?
Jaswant Bhai, please go ahead.
Yes.
I think this was a excellent presentation. Judea Committee and the animal welfare, that we've been doing it for ages and centuries in India and now over here. 2 points I want to make it. One is what Sulekhbhai said about the vegan lifestyle, that leather in the car. Yes, nowadays every manufacturer makes the car where you can buy a non-leather product, and we should promote that. Not only that, I think we should have a vegan way of life in which many other products, not just the car, but sofa, shoes, belts, watches, all those things, we should have kind of a list that we can publicize it, that people can look after it, number one. And I believe that in the same way of life, our style, I think Jaina should take a position in terms of the food, and I think we should adopt a vegan food lifestyle as well. Just a recommendation, because that's very important. It has an effect on environment, it has an effect on the health, and it does have an effect on our non-violence principles. So I think we should consider it. Thank you very much.
You are right. You are right. And Dr. Modi Sahib, we should follow it. We need to practice it, and we need to preach it and set example for others to follow.
Jai Jinendra. Hello.
Go ahead, Yogesh Bhai.
In addition to what Jaswant Bhai just said, as I don't know everyone knows or not, but Jain Center of Southern California, at least at our central level, we have policy adapted during his presidency that all the functions we will have vegan food, and became vegan food at our functions, regardless of individually what people have option at their home. So that was great that we did. So what I think we should do is, we can approach individually. That's one thing. But we should request all the centers at least start the practice for being vegan when they have their programs at the SEM. Right now, everything pandemic is not the programs happening, but they should adopt that policy at least to start from the organizations, and then you follow through the organizations to the individual members. And that may have a little better effect and success than just sending messages to individuals. So I think that's what we should do. At least 30% people become vegan out of it. That is a big success in my life, in my opinion. So, and we have done it here, and not 100% maybe became vegan, but there are a lot of people after that became vegan, and they are all like happy with it. I'm getting feedbacks because I'm very much involved in this center. So I get a lot of feedbacks that way. So just give you that addition to that what Jaswant they say. And also, as you know that Jain Center of Southern California also every year, whatever they collect, last 2 years now we have changed the policy from 10 or 15% to 30% locally shelters to help, and we every year distribute those funds, and we visit those sanctuaries around and all that, and we take care of it. There is an elephant sanctuary, and there are few, Lovin too, we are involved. So what I'm saying, we have to join hands together with all the centers, and we also give 70% of the money funds to India through bigger organization and distribute. We also work on individually because we get a lot of small Panjrapurs requests and we take care of it. We recently give funds to Panjrapur in like Palanpur area. They are hurting and all that. There was a Khadol Tirth, there was a fire and they contacted us through Maharaj Sahib and we took care of it, 3-4 people, send the funds to help them right away for their, grass and all that. So what I'm saying, it's been happening. We're doing it for like years, but we should put hands together and make sure that we work on that area to put every centers on the board and work together. Even if you have to expand the committee to take members from other centers, big centers and all that, from 7 to whatever it takes, but we should work on it to make this on a bigger scale so we can help better and make their animals and Gau Matas, whatever, the life better and better. I don't know, a lot of people I'm sure know to the Bidra. They do take care of the animals, treatment and all that. They bring the animal there, they do their surgery needed or whatever is needed. And Jain Center is also part of it. I'm thinking Jaina is also part of it. But what I'm saying, instead of that, we make and join hands together, all to be combined, and then we should plan systematic plans. So every in India, Panjrapur, everybody, small or big, get help. Thank you.
I want to follow up on what Yogesh Bhai said, that I think that the Jaina should take a leadership in recommending vegan food and the lifestyle. And I mean, I was kind of disheartened to hear Gary Francione. He's a law professor at the Rutgers University, and he's a vegan himself. He gave a lecture at the FIU last month. That was an international conference. And he kind of made a little comment during his conference talk that he has been a vegan. I think several years ago, he was invited to speak at JAINA. And he did recommend and say about the vegan food. And apparently, JAINA leadership was kind of not receptive to his idea. And that was after that, he said that I never got an invitation from the Jaina to speak. So I think that instead of we promoting the idea and encouraging people to speak, I guess we are taking an opposite direction, which is, I think, not right. And whether it may become effective when an individual might follow or not, but at the institutional level, I think we should take a lead, because look at, there are many dignitaries, including Chitrabhanu, and we Jaina is becoming global. It has been doing a great other initiative, Sadharmik Bhakti, Vayavach Committee, Jiv Daya, and all those things. We should take a lead in this, because if we take a lead, others will follow or might follow, and that's my recommendation. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I took up your time, Ketan Bhai, but
No. It's great suggestions, and I totally agree with you. Even we have, again, not me, but I have listened some of the conversations that our convention should be the, Jaina convention where we used to get together should be totally vegan. And there were some opposition to it. I totally agree with you, but we should not be shutting down the people for it. We all have equal right, and we should all give equal platform, and we should actually respect the people who are trying to put veganism in their life. Because to me, I am not 100% vegan. I am 95%, but I'm not 100%. And to that reason, they are higher than me in the karma theory. So I respect them, and appreciate and adore them.
Thank you very much, Ketan Bhai. I think it's very important. One of the discussion that I hear that at the JAINA level and the convention, if we recommend vegan, other centers will not participate, our attendance will go down, we may not get a contribution. I think those are the points that kind of goes against our basic principles of doctrines of Jainism. You know, we have to sacrifice something to get it. And if as a Jain, all of our Jains are vegetarians, and all we are asking is to give up only one item, which is a dairy product. And if we cannot do it, I mean, how can we expect Americans who are non-vegetarian from the birth to give up everything and become a vegetarian? It's a very tall order if we don't set an example. So, thank you very much.
I agree with you. Rajendra Bhai.
Thank you
Yes.
very much. There is Rajendra Bhai has raised the hand.
Yes, thank you, Jai Jinendra. Thank you, President and Ketan Bhai, and all the wonderful work. I would like to suggest that JAINA is being so strong and collective power. We should take advantage by setting up some of the bargaining power all nationwide and put a political pressure in so many different ways to the corporations and society by JAINA promoting the products and creating on their website and various products to sell. Maybe we don't have to sell ourselves, but there is some companies who can do it for us, and various Jain center can be part of it and direct all the business toward that way, and we can have a more collective powers to do that. And I like our Jain center did in Dr. Modi's time and in vegan food and all. What we preach, I think we should do that. They will have JAINA will have a good impact. And I think we have a collective power to push the agenda in so many different ways. We are not taking advantage of it.
Yes, and we are started working on it. Again, it is just starting, but we have started putting the databases together. And Dilip Bhai Shah is also helping us out, trying to find out some more product line, and then we'll ask everybody else to join in it. And then we are trying to create database of those information and then share with everybody on our JAINA website.
I also want to make one comment. Please correct me if maybe Mahesh Bhai or somebody can correct. I heard that Rakesh Bhai at Dharampur Mission, he himself has become a vegan. And I think that he can set a great example if that is true, which is what I heard about it. And our senior member, past President Sulekji has been a vegan as well. We are many people, and I think it's a time to take an official lead. And in our center, yes, Yogesh Bhai said, there are some voices that they don't like it, but by and large, there are enough choices available of a vegan food, everything, sweet, ice cream, tea. Thank you.
Ketan Bhai, I see Dr. Surinder Singhvi from Cincinnati, Dayton, who is the founder president of that center, is raising hands to say something.
Go ahead.
Surinder Bhai, unmute. Unmute. Yeah. Again, you muted. Unmute.
Aman Bhai, we are.
Yeah.
Ramesh Bhai,
Follow.
I want to say that I met President Clinton. He has become vegan, and he said that he is feeling very good. I think this vegan idea, my granddaughter is vegan. It requires a bit more discipline, but she's very happy. Last 5 years, 10 years, she's been vegan. So I think it's a good idea. We should promote that.
Thank you. I think Dhaval Bhai Shah has also raised the hand. Dhaval Bhai.
Yeah, hi. Thank you very much for this wonderful session. The other thought I had is that that suggestion from Jaswant Bhai about having vegan meals at JAINA conventions. Maybe it is, if it is too drastic to overnight change all the meals, maybe you can start with one meal, right? Can go evolutionary rather than revolutionary. So like go one by one and see how it's accepted, because also people have to accept also, right? It has to be balanced. So maybe start with one meal, see how that goes, then make it two, three. In no time we'll be there. And definitely there are alternatives, like Jaswant Bhai said, right? So why not do it step by step, and then maybe it's acceptable by people.
Well, next year we have no problem of food. It's all virtual.
Yeah, yeah. Right now there's no problem, but yeah, for the in conjunction with what Jaswant Bhai was saying.
All right, we are almost 18 minutes over. Mahesh Bhai, would you like to?
Thank you, Aman Bhai. Excellent suggestions from everyone. Ketan Bhai, excellent presentation for the Jeev Daya. Shaleen, your presentation was very inspiring, wonderful, and we are always there to help you in any way we can. In fact, Jaina has come up with another program which is called Meals and Thanksgiving Fasting. We have created this committee. The chair of this committee is a white guy. His name is Chris Miller. He is professor of Jain study classes at Loyola Marymount University. This project was started just because this gentleman fasted on last Thanksgiving Day. And he was mentioning this to the Academic Liaison Committee Chair Sulekji, and Sulek Bhai and the Academic Liaison Committee members thought that we should come up with a fasting program during Thanksgiving. With that, Dilip Bhai Shah from Pennsylvania came up with an idea that why don't we serve vegetarian meals to the entire nation wherever we can. So Jaina created this program, which is called Meals and Thanksgiving Fasting. We created this committee and we appointed Chris Miller as the chair. What we are going to do is we are calling on all the Jain centers to participate in this program. And we are looking forward to see during Ahimsa Day, which is October 2nd, we would like to serve 100,000 meals across the nation. There are so many centers that committed 5,000 meals. In Los Angeles, we'll be serving almost 10,000 meals. And so we need everyone's help in order to participate in these programs. We will also, on Thanksgiving Day, we are requesting people do fasting. And I'm sure 1,000 fastings would not be a problem. We are requesting Jain centers to announce this program. And hopefully we could achieve our goal of 100,000 meals, vegetarian meals. We will serve vegan. We have 3 or different type of foods that we can serve. We can serve vegan food. We can serve Jain vegetarian food. Or there are also institutions or organizations out of Jain centers, and they would be serving maybe vegetarian food. So this program is unique, which will help save animals from slaughtering, and it will bring awareness on vegetarianism also among the whites. This is good for the environment, good for the health. In so many ways, it is one of the best way to bring awareness of the vegetarianism and veganism. So please support this cause. And if you are representing any Jain centers, try to talk to them and see how we can create this as a successful project. Thank you. Thank you everyone for attending. If Michami Dukram, if we have said anything that hurt anyone. So with that, thank you again. Do we need to do Naukar Mantra, Hemant Bhai? Anybody to do
Ketan-
honor of Naukar Mantra, please?
Ketan Bhai, please.
Let's give it to Sulekji. He is the one of the senior most, so let's give Sulekji.
अरिहंत भगवंतो इंद्र महिता सिद्धाश्च सिद्धि स्थिता आचार्य दिन शासन उन्नति करा पूज्या उपाध्यायिका श्री सिद्धांत सपाटिका मुनिवरा रत्नत्रय आराधिका ये पंचायती परमेष्टि ने प्रतिदिनम कुर्वंत नो मंगलम नमो अरिहंताणम नमो सिद्धानम नमो आयरियाणम नमो वज्जायाणम नमो लोहे सव्य साहुनम ऐसो पंच नमोकारो सव्य पाव पणासनो मंगलानंच सव्य सिंह परमम हवै मंगलम नमस्कार टू एवरीवन
Jai Jinendra all. Thank you
everybody.
Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra.